Race number 8, extended rating Class 1, Tourbillon Diamond. Group racing all season for him, so he comes down in grade. Tuchel won the Group 3 Premier Plate last time. Red Lion placed over the 1600 at Nace. He's having his first look at the distance here in Hong Kong. Encountered huge win at Happy Valley last time. The Irishman has the hood going on. Flaming Rabbit, last start winner over the 1400, steps up in trip for the second time. He placed his first go at the mile. And then we've got the all-weather horses. Haven Nagila's won his last 3 on the all-weather, and True Legend. He is a turf winner twice, but a 3-time winner on the all-weather. Class 1, Tom, so as you'd expect, it's a really good field, and Flaming Rabbit leaves the gate as fast as any horse in Hong Kong.
He does. He can leave the machine very quickly, and he should be able to show them a clean pair of heels early and get across here in front of Circuit Stella, who can race handy. He's got barrier 3. True Legend normally always goes forward, hasn't gone forward in his last couple, has True Legend, and he's certainly more known for his all-weather form. And then you've got Tuchel and Red Lion. They should get nice runs with the odd one out, Paul, towards the back, Columbus County and barrier 12. Not sure this is the right race for him.
No, I think he's going to have to go back. Interesting with True Legend, as you say, because he did lead in a recent trial, and with the apprentice claim, he might try and make it hard for Flaming Rabbit from barrier 1. But there is a query, as you said, he's gone back the last couple. As there is a bit of pace in this race, I think it will open up, which means most horses will be able to get their chance. Encountered was a huge run when wide last time, but I think he can be able to slot in their midfield.
We'll talk more about Encountered shortly, but an interview to kick us off. Nick spoke to Frankie Law, who's well represented with 3 horses in the race.
Frankie Law, you're very well represented at the final meeting of the season coming up on Sunday at Sha Tin. You've got 3 in the feature, race 8 at Class 1. Let's start with Haven Nagila. Now, he's been in tremendous form on the all-weather. What is it that's brought you to this decision to run him back on the turf?
I think he also can win it on the turf, because the horse in England, he win 3 times on the turf, so I think it should be okay, no problem. Yes.
His improvement, Frankie, on the dirt has been quite exceptional, hasn't it? I mean, did you ever think that he would improve the way he has done for the switch to the surface?
I think so. I think both tracks should be no problem for him, and so this time I just try on the turf. I think should be okay. Lightweight also, yeah.
If we cast our memories back to March, he ran second to the useful Ching on the turf. He's now gone into a mark in the 80s. Your horse has got up to 91. So, I mean, on that sort of form, you'd have to give him some sort of chance. Has he shown you all the right signs in his track work leading up to this that he can win again?
I think so, because the horse still improve. So lightweight, I think usually is better for the horses. You know, some horses 135, so our horse is lightweight. I think should be good for him.
He's had a recent trial, Frankie, as well. Are you happy with the trial?
Yeah, he tried good. Yeah.
He's joined by a couple of stablemates. Beauty Live in the race as well. He was a Class 2 winner this season over course and distance. Going back up in trip to a mile, that should suit him?
Of course, he's better distance. 16 or later on, he can handle 1800. Last time he not much race for him. I just put him on 1400, but he's still running good. Yeah.
I must just ask you about your other runner as well, True Legend down at the bottom. He's obviously perhaps up against it, but he's in the race for you as well, so gives you a bit of strength and depth and sort of numbers, really.
Yeah, this horse I think is this season is enough for him. But anyway, if he can still have a race for him, just give him a race. Maybe he can drop down some weighting. Yeah.
There he is, Frankie Law, talking about his 3 runners in race number 8, the Hong Kong Racehorse Owners Association Trophy. We move on, Tom, to our first replay, and it is a Tuchel. This is Group Company last time. It was the running of the Group 3 Premier Plate. He goes up 11 pounds for the drop-in class. Also in this race is Spirited Express at the back, and Tourbillon Diamond. He's just been finding it tough, certainly in the back half of the season, taking on the group horses.
He's been back to the trials, so Tourbillon Diamond ran 6th. Not a lot of pressure put on him, but he's out of sorts at the moment, so I'm happy to go against him here with 133 pounds. Tuchel was able to sit right by the speed and quicken off the front, which in the end was the winning of the race for him. But look, I give Spirited Express a chance in this race, Paul, the way he's been going.
Yeah, look, the way the race will be run will suit him, because there's a lot of pace in this race, so he does get back, so I think he'll be finishing off strongly.
We're going to have a look and see what Tuchel has done, Paul, so far. And winner last time, that was 1,800 metres. He's back to the mile this week.
He is. He's got to come back in distance. Look, he's up 11 pounds as well. Look, he's still one of the major chances, but there's just a couple of little things there that's going to make it a little bit harder for him this week than it has for when he won last time.
Yeah, I think even though he was the winner of the Premier Plate, we know what a great season he's had. He's won 6 of his 15 starts through his career. I think he's still good enough to win this, even with 133 on his back.
Good report for Tuchel. We move on now, Tom, to our next replay, which features in the Premier Cup. So same day as Tuchel winning, they go up from the 14 to the 1600. Different tactics from Circuit Stella this day with plenty of speed in the race. They rode him off the pace, Red Lions on the outside. Circuit Stella very good being ridden the way he was.
He was, and look, he's sat next to the winner in this race. That was Beauty Eternal, had a nice run just in behind the pace here. I know he's got a good record this season, Paul, and he does enjoy course and distance, but going from 118 to 131 against a very good opposition, I think is going to be tough for him this time.
Yeah, look, he's definitely way up in the weights. One thing about him is he always tries hard. He's a horse that you like to own because he always puts in. I've included him on a very minor line.
That was Beauty Eternal. He was taking a ground off in that race. This is one of the wins of the season at Happy Valley last time. His name is Encountered. So this is what he's done in the early stages. That's him from barrier number 10. They'll come down to the winning post the first time here, Paul. He's wide. He's wide the entire. And then we'll see what he does up the straight.
Yeah, look, this is, for me, this was the performance of the season at Happy Valley. He was just wide the whole way. He was not entitled to win this race by any stretch of the imagination and wins by 4 lengths. I think it was just an amazing win.
It really was. So you can see he's just out in no man's land around that first turn into the 1,200 metres, and he didn't really have any options because there was all that pace underneath him, and if he burned him too much early, it was probably going to cost him at the end. But you can see him absolutely tanking along when all the rest of them, maybe apart from the second horse, are under a whole lot of pressure here. It was arrogant, Paul. He actually won this day, of course, last season at 198 to 1 in a Class 3 mile, but he's gone ahead in leaps and bounds since then.
Yeah, exactly. So, we know he comes right this time of year, and he's just a horse that's really improved. He's one of these British horses that come over. He just taken a while to acclimatise. He went through the 4-year-old series, and then he's come out and done this. So, look, I think he can win this race.
No issues at all going back to Sha Tin.
Not at all. He's a course and distance winner.
All right, that is Encountered there off the Happy Valley victory. Here is a Flaming Rabbit, Tom, and we'll see him jump out of the gates fast. He's just buried in the middle there. That's Super Wind Dragon, which actually, it's somewhat of an optical illusion from this camera. He was out quicker than it might look here, and he just rolls to the front and keeps on going.
He charges forward, this horse, and he's had a good season. They, of course, obviously had big wraps on him. They had an entry for the Derby, and they were just going to go into the Derby straight up, first up, with basically nothing under his belt. But they opted out of that, and that probably in the end, Paul, was a blessing in disguise with what he's been able to come out and do. And Douglas White's got a few sort of questions now to sort of pose with this horse, because he's still an entire, so if he doesn't run well, he might be 2 stone lighter next season.
It could well be, couldn't he? But look, he is going really well at the moment, this one, and another one that's sort of taken a little while to acclimatise, won really nicely. He did beat Fire My Love, who's been in great form as well, so it's quite a strong form race he's come out of.
And that was the champion Griffin running third in How Deep Is Your Love, so there's plenty of quality around the win of a Flaming Rabbit. Gee, it's a good race though, Paul.
Yeah, really good race. It's one of those ones, who do you leave out in this contest? But look, I'm going to go with Encountered. I thought it was just an amazing win last time. I think he can beat Tuchel, who's up 11 pounds, but that's a quinella for me, 5 to beat 2. Flaming Rabbit won't be far away, and Circuit Stella's so honest. Really good race. 5, 2, 8 and 4.
Similar sort of numbers for the top 3, but we differ on 4th. But I think Tuchel can win this race again for Zach Purton and John Size. He was impressive. He sat just off the speed last time out, and he's trolled up nicely since. So with Tuchel to beat Encountered, I think they're the main 2. A lot of respect for Flaming Rabbit on what he's done so far. Got that well-deserved win last time out. And Spirited Express was 3rd behind Tuchel. Was a little bit held up in the early part of the straight, but stayed on well, and he's never missed top 4 course and distance, Spirited Express. So 2, 5, 8 and 9.